This game here is one that everybody's been waiting to see. If you was at the Orange Blossom Classic last year, you saw what the FAMU Rattlers did to the Jackson State Tigers to the tune of 28-10. The game was so out of touch in the first half. FAMU was up 28-0 at the half. They didn't score any points in the second half. Jackson State got out there. The defense started trying to dial things up a little bit more, getting some pressure on the team, slowing that offense down, preventing them from doing the things that they did to them early on in the game. I mean, you had Mr. Riley out there who had the opening kickoff for a touchdown. It just got everybody in the stadium, just electrified everything up in there, had everybody just going crazy like, hey, FAMU felt that it was their year to win it. They did win it all. And Jackson State felt some kind of way because they was trying to pad the stats a little bit as the game waned on. The clock, the time was ticking off the clock. They was trying to add a little bit more onto the scoreboard, but fell a little short. Well, now we ain't worried about the game being played the first game of the season. The game's being played midway through the season this trip, and we're going to find out who is going to come out on top in this game that could very well propel them to be playing for that SWAC Championship when the dust clears, representing the East Division. We're going to talk about it right after this. You know, it's your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow League Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and share these videos, and tap in a friend or two and tell them to come on in. It ain't no positive vibes over here. We're just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow us on all social media platforms. Also, we got the membership open. So, guys, if you want to support the channel, because y'all already know everything that Coach do over here on Tomorrow League Sports Network is going back into the channel, and 9 times out of 10 is going back to you guys. So, if you want to support the channel, make sure y'all go ahead and support the channel. We got multiple tiers over there. Go check that out. Make sure y'all tune in, tap in, tell a friend of a friend. Bring their behinds on in, because we need to have you on over here. Let's get this thing going, because I know you're like, Coach, you did a lot of rambling and talking, but you got to go ahead and tell us what your thoughts are on this game. And I got to be totally honest with you. We got 2 quarterbacks that are dual threat quarterbacks. I can't tell you no lie. This is a matchup. This is a matchup that I'm going to enjoy. I'm just sitting here looking at everything, trying to get my mind wrapped around this game here, because I'm just like, man, the suspense has been building up, wondering exactly how everything was going to turn out, how each team was going to, how things were going to factor into this moment that we're in right now. Because remember now, no disrespect to Alabama State, they were picked as the preseason favorite to come out of the East as the champ. And I mean, right now we're halfway through the season. FAMU has already beaten Alabama State. Jackson State haven't played them yet. Jackson State got to play FAMU. We're going to see how this thing will go, because there's a lot that's on the line right now. And I don't want to put no pressure on nobody. That's not what I'm here to do, and put no pressure on nobody. I'm just giving you what's coming down the pike as far as what's going on. But Jackson State, I know they feeling some kind of way. There's no way in the world the boys went out there. They put up 28 unanswered on Jackson State in the Orange Blossom Classic. And them boys went to try to pad the stats in the fourth quarter before the game ended, because Jackson State held them from scoring any more points. Now, Jackson State did end up putting 10 points on the board. Hey, listen, I'm going to be real with you guys. Jackson State don't get mad at me when I say that, but don't get mad at me when I say this. Every time I see 28-3, I have Atlanta Falcon flashbacks. I'm just being honest, guys. Don't get mad at Coach. Don't get mad with your boy. Don't get mad with your favorite coach. I just have them flashbacks, because I get to thinking in my head like, okay, this game ain't over with yet. This game is not freaking over with yet. And when Jackson State scored that touchdown, I said, okay, let's see if they can get them a stop and come back down the field, put some more points up on the board. Unfortunately, things didn't happen that way. There's some injuries that took place in the game, so on and so forth. But you know what? Hey, no excuses now. We're here to play this game. And like I stated before, the extra motivation for this thing is just like, hey, everybody had a week off to get them bumps and bruises together, to go ahead, ice down, get your health back in order, go ahead, get yourself in the weight room, get your mental together, get yourself prepared for what's coming this weekend, because it's going to be a dog fight. I honestly believe this is going to be a dogfight. I mean, we can look at all the statistical numbers on offense and defense. We can talk that jazz all day long. You know, of course, the #1 offense in the SWAC is Jackson State. They're playing the #5 defense in the FAMU Rattlers. And the million-dollar question is, what is that Black Cloud defense going to do? Especially now that they've gotten their taste of getting their first defensive turnover in the season when they played Alabama State. It was at the week 4 last, if I'm not mistaken. Now, we could toss all of the numbers out the window. We just gonna throw that away and look at exactly what we got going on here. We know Jackson State got some playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. You got Jacoby Morgan, you got Irvin Mulligan, J.D. Martin, Jonas Fertillion, you got Isaiah Spencer, Travis Terrell Jr., Desmond Moultrie, and a few others out there. But I can't forget about the quarterback, Jacoby Morgan, who's, I believe he was on the sideline last year watching all this go down. So I know he chomping at the bit like, yo, I want some of this work. I need to get in on some of this action right here. I need to get my team in position so that we can do that thing that we need to do so that we can go ahead and move this thing forward. Letting everybody know that, yeah, Jack State might have had a year off, but we're back. So, but you can't look past the Black Cloud defense now. I mean, somehow, some way, I mean, somebody might go ahead and flip that switch, and them guys think, hey, they ready to go ahead and get to it. I mean, they've definitely come out. They helped serve against South Carolina State. I believe it was it Norfolk State University, and Alabama State. Now they had trouble with Troy and University of Miami, but you know what? They got that dual threat quarterback back there in the backfield, Daniel Richardson, who's definitely looking to come out there and find a way to carve up Jack State defense, let them know y'all ain't all that. Y'all gonna get this work. Same thing with Jacoby Morgan. He's the same way. Come out there, do a threat quarterback, looking to come out there and show these boys what time it is, especially with those wide receivers for the Jack State Tigers football team. Now, FAMU definitely gonna look to make some noise in this game, especially against the Jack State defensive backs, trying to get them confused, get them a little window dressing, have them looking at things in a manner in which they see one thing, but they got something else coming from the other side that they don't know what's happening, and catch them peeking in that backfield, thinking that they got a bead on Richardson when they don't. They want you to come. Richardson wants you to come up maybe about 3 or 5 yards. Come on up a little further so he can go ahead and dump that ball over your head and allow that receiver just to go ahead and get loose and do his thing down the field. Now, one thing I'll say is this. I definitely can see Richardson trying to use Gassett as well as Cobb to stretch the field. Now, one thing Jack State got to keep in mind on the defensive side of the ball is Richardson loves to use his tight ends. He will use them big tight ends, put they behind, they run a seam route, cross a route. They're going to do what they need to do to make sure things are intact for that offense to continue to keep moving that ball down the field. Now, for FAMU, you can expect Calvin Dean to go ahead and get out there and do his thing because this is his last ride. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think that young man has any eligibility left after this season. So he's definitely looking to come out there and leave a stamp on Jackson State's defense, letting them know, hey, listen, we beat y'all last year in the Orange Blossom Classic. Y'all wanted to play us during the season. We're coming to give y'all this work in your house. And guess what? We're going to go ahead and repeat again as the SWAC champions and take our behinds on to this national championship game, which is the Celebration Bowl that's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. So, like I said, there's a lot that's riding on the table right now. There's a lot on the line right now with both teams because they starting to see a little bit of the light at the end of the tunnel. Now, one thing I got to say is this. Even though FAMU is going to be looking to use their playmakers on the offensive side of the ball, we can't forget about Jackson State got some playmakers themselves. There's one in particular that I'm waiting to see who on the FAMU Rattlers side, FAMU Rattlers defense that is going to cover Mr. Fortalin himself. Who's going to cover Mr. Fortalin himself? I mean, again, like I stated before, the matchups is going to be key in this game to see how everything goes. If that young man is able to be that spark plug to get this thing going right off the rip, and Jackson State come out there with that fast-paced offense and just start punching that scoreboard against FAMU, it's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day because they have the running backs to get out there and run that ball. Irv Mulligan, Moultrie, J.D. Martin. I mean, they got, we ain't even talked about Ahmad Arbery yet. We haven't even got to that young man yet. Heck, I mean, we haven't even got to Terrell Jr. They got some athletes over there that's really going to kick in and do some things in this game. This, like I stated before, defensively, Jackson State, this is not the week for y'all to sit out there and fall asleep at the wheel. You can't do it because Richardson is going to look to try to get you to pay more attention to him in that backfield, scrambling around, trying to throw the ball down the field, get you to leave your receiver, as I stated previously, a couple yards, back up off your receiver, probably about 3 to 5 yards, and he's going to dump that boy over your head, watching your receiver, run down the sideline, scoring a touchdown. And guess what? This ain't the week you want to be sick behind making silly mistakes. So definitely make sure your head is on the swivel and you're able to do the things that you need to do to keep things in pocket so that your team can continue to keep moving on with no losses in the conference. Now, as I stated, Jack State defense, the Jack State offense is a fast-paced offense. FAMU Rattlers, y'all going to have to find a way to slow that offense down. Now, I can say if FAMU does get out in front in this game, look for them to muddy the game up. And the reason why I say that is because they held the ball against Alabama State, I believe, 10 to 11 minutes more than them in that game, which was pivotal because, again, Alabama State's offense was not a quick striking offense, but Jackson State's is. And they're going to look to make sure they take away as many opportunities for Jackson State to get on that field, to move that ball down the field, to possibly put points up on the board. So Jacoby Morgan or whoever the quarterback is back there for Jackson State, your mind got to be sharp and ready in this game. There's no room for error. We got to make sure that when the ball is snapped, if you're in the gun, the ball is snapped, you got the ball in your hands before you try to take off and make a move. Running backs, y'all got to make sure y'all hold on to that rock as well because, as I stated before, FAMU Rattlers got their first taste of turnovers in the game against the Alabama State Hornets. So now they're going to be looking to come out there and get some more. You know how it goes. Hey, coach was a little chunky as a kid. I'm still a big guy now, but chunky kids, they love candy. So if they could get a chance to get them a couple extra pieces of candy, why not? As the Rattlers like to say, strike and strike and strike again. You think they ain't gonna keep trying to strike if they able to get out here and get the daggone get a turnover too? Y'all got to be kidding me. They're gonna be trying to come for that thing. So y'all need to make sure y'all hold on to that rock and make it happen. Now, Jack State defensive front. Can't forget about y'all. Can't forget about the big uglies in the trenches as well as on the offensive side of the ball. Y'all got to make sure y'all open up them lanes for the running backs to run that ball, as well as on the defensive side, y'all got to stay disciplined. You got to be disciplined coming up the field. If you're not disciplined coming up the field, preventing from giving Richardson lanes for him to take off and run when he has no one to throw the ball to. Listen, again, this is going to be a dogfight. FAMU Rattlers offensive lineman, same thing goes for you guys. You guys up front on the offensive defense, y'all got to make sure y'all put that pressure on people, let them know what time it is. Bowler and I forget the other defensive back for FAMU Rattlers. Y'all got to make sure y'all keep y'all heads on the swivel as well. Guthrie and Wiggins, y'all got to make sure y'all do y'all thing over there as well. You cannot sit here and allow the FAMU to get you guys out of your game plan as far as what exactly it is that you're looking to do on the defense. This thing is going to be one hell of a game that I think a lot of folks are going to be talking about once this thing is over with. Again, like I stated before, the question is going to be, can the Jack State Tigers football team keep the pressure on Daniel Richardson, preventing him from becoming that dual threat that he can be out there on the field that's going to continue to keep helping those chains continue to help move them chains down the field for them to possibly put points up on the board. If the Black Cloud defense can find a way to come out here and slow down the Jack State Tigers football, the Black Cloud defense can come out and slow down that high-powered Jack State offense, it's going to be a long day for JSU. And I don't think JSU is trying to hear that. So we're going to see exactly how this thing going to roll. But there's one thing that I didn't forget about, that some of you may have thought about it, but it didn't quite hit you just yet. Special teams. Special teams is going to be very pivotal in this game. See, the Rattlers don't have Marcus Riley out there who set this thing ablaze last year when they played Miami and everybody just lost their mind when he ran that, 96-yard touchdown back to open up the score, open up the scoring for FAMU in the beginning of the game. I don't think anybody remember that. But I think what took place this year, I think head coach T.C. Taylor kind of took a page out of that for this year's team. And not only do they have Terrell Jr. that can return that thing, you better keep your eye on Dupree as well. I don't think Jackson State is coming out there to play no games in this game this week. I do want to see if Jackson State gets up in this game, are they going to continue to put the pressure on FAMU, or are they going to let their foot slightly up off the gas? Because as I stated before, you cannot let your foot up off the opponent. And if you're dealing with a snake, what do they always tell you? Chop the head off the snake. And if you let that rattler keep on rattling around, guess what? If you let that rattler keep on doing what he's going to do, he's going to come back, he's going to strike. And as they say, strike, strike, and strike again. So we're going to see how this thing going to turn out. I want all of y'all to leave your comments down below. Let me know what your score predictions are going to be. Tell me who you think going to win this game. Matter of fact, tell me who you think is going to be the unsung hero. Let's do something different this time. Who's going to be the unsung hero in this game that's going to help propel their team to get the victory this upcoming Saturday? Leave comments down below. Hey, and if you ain't told your friend to come in, tap in, tune in, and do it again and over and again, and again and again, they better be over here and listen to your favorite coach. But guess what? Coach going to go ahead and get up on out this thing. But until next time, be the one and lead.